Good morning. I'm getting ready for Saturday. I have this weird thing on my nose right now because I'm cleaning my nose piercing. I'm gonna go see some theater today. My fiance is in a Shakespeare show that is performed in Central Park, and this month was the performance dates.
I'm doing a production of Titus Andronicus by William Shakespeare. It's the story of a man who has spent his entire life as a soldier for Rome. Now that he's old, he expects the regime, the empire, to reward him for everything he's done, for his service. But instead, there's a new emperor, a new regime, and they, instead of rewarding him, start just massacring his family.
I'm gonna say I'm like really into theater. I've seen a couple of his shows and I really like them. And, you know, I'm giving it a chance. I'm trying to get more into theater because I'm into art and like storytelling and theater storytelling. I just can't follow Shakespeare, you know, the language is very hard. My fiance made me a coffee, which was really nice. We don't eat breakfast in the morning generally because we both are doing intermittent fasting. So we usually just like have hot drinks. So he had a tea also. And we packed our bags, we got ready for the day, and then we went on the train. And it was pretty easy. It wasn't delayed. We had a really nice ride into Penn Station. And then we walked over to the subway. Had a little bit of wait for the subway, but that always happens on the weekend. But the wait wasn't even like that long. It was like maybe 6 minutes. And honestly, when you have someone to talk to when you're waiting on the platform, you don't really notice it. We rode the subway to 81st. So the thing about being an actor that I don't understand is that it seems like you don't really eat, but then you also eat a lot. Would you say that?
I would say that's how I do it. Most actors, I think, it's an easy way for them to stay skinny is they snack throughout the day nonstop. So like, I have a lot of friends who'll just like carry a big bag of almonds or something and just like eat that throughout the day. But for me, yeah, it's like, I mean, I also do intermittent fasting, which is just sort of part of my lifestyle and something that works for me. And a big part of that is not eating for a long period of time and then eating as much as you physically can.
Well, I say that to say, if we don't get a sandwich right now, it's gonna be like 4 hours till he eats, give or take. So we're on a sandwich mission right now. What kind of sandwich do you want?
Oh yeah, I gotta see the menu and then I'll make a decision.
I'm getting a vegetarian sandwich, but sandwich mission. And then we brought that to Central Park up to Summit Rock where his performance was, and we sat on a big rock and we had our sandwiches and I had my chips and we had a little picnic while we were waiting. So we're preparing this cool actor guy for his role in a few hours.
You have someone else here? Who are you
Eating
talking
some sandwiches. And it's pretty interesting. Another theater group over here. They're rehearsing. I haven't seen other theater stuff happen at Summit Rock, so this is new to me. Pretty cool. Just gonna relax until the show starts and then I get to see if it's good or not. Do you think I'm gonna like it?
Oh yeah. It's so violent. You're gonna love it.
People for the show that my fiance was in started to show up and we all started to talk and they started to get ready. When they started to get into the costumes, I decided to go grab my seat early for the show because the last show that I went to, I had to pee and it was this whole entire adventure because the Delacorte was closed, so I had to go to like some shack thing for the bathroom and then come back. And there was no seats. So I wanted to avoid that and just like made sure I had my seat. It was nice. I sat next to the tree. I like sitting in the park and like being to myself and like taking in the scenery. I wish I brought a book. I didn't think to bring a book because it would have been nice to sit there and read my book. But I did bring my Pixel Buds, so I popped those in. I watched some YouTube videos and just kind of relaxed. And then they started doing something called Fight Call, where they come out and they practice the fight scenes and like warm up into it before the show. So I was a little distracted by that. And before long, then the show started. a little weird for me at first because I thought it was starting because some of the actors came out and they were walking around and talking to the audience. But now that I'm thinking on it after seeing the show, I think they were trying to do an immersive thing while the audience was waiting. I didn't like it. There were people in the audience that liked it and were all about it, but I don't know. I'm there to watch the show. I'm not there to be part of the show.
The people of Rome have by common voice in election for the Roman emperor chosen Andronicus, surnamed Titus, a nobler man, a braver warrior lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is new welcomed home from weary wars against the barbarous Goths. 10 years are spent since he first undertook this cause of Rome and chastised with arms our enemy's pride. 5 times hath he returned, bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field. And now, at last, laden with other spoils, returns the good Andronicus to Rome!
Romans, make way! The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honor and with fortune, his return!
Hail Rome! Victorious in thy morning weeds, Romans, of 25 valiant sons, behold the poor remains alive and dead. These that survive, let Rome repay with love. These I bring to their final resting place for burial among their ancestors. Make way to lay them with their brethren, there to greet in silence as the dead are mourned, and lives in honor killed in your country's wars.
Give us the proudest prisoner of the Goths, that we may hew his limbs and on a pyre before this earthy prison of their bones sacrifice his flesh.
I give him you, the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Stay, Roman brethren! Gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, mother's tears in passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Suffice it not that we are brought to Rome, captive to thee and to thy Roman yoke, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause. Andronicus, stain not thy doom with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods, draw near them then, if being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Patient yourself, madam, and pardon me. These are their brethren, for their brethren slain, which you Goths have seen alive and dead. Religiously they ask a sacrifice. To this thy son is marked, and die he must.
Away with him, and make a fire!
I had questions about the play that I saw. It mainly comes from the place of I don't really know Shakespeare that well, but the more that I go to these and I'm being exposed to the language and seeing the shows and then talking to my fiance about them afterwards, the more that I'm starting to understand Shakespeare shows.
I pretty much followed it. There was definitely parts. I remember you told me that there were some long things that would get boring for me. I saw that.
You're gonna have to speak much louder if you want to beat the siren. New York! Oh, that was abrupt. They caught him, everyone.
No, but you told me there was long transitions that I would find boring,
Yeah.
and I saw that. But this one I followed.
Good.
This one I was able to know what was going
Yeah,
on.
this
So
is
I'm
surprising.
learning Shakespeare.
Well, and we're all really good at telling the story. You need actors. Excuse me. You need actors who are very good at telling the story.
And now we're gonna go get alcohol and food. Food?
Food, yeah. Let's do it. I'm not that
Celebrate
hungry.
being an
I mostly
actor.
want water.
No, you want food
Okay.
and water.
Okay.
There's water in the cask.
Okay. Yeah.
You did good.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
Eventually, though, we had to run because New Jersey Transit is the worst. Running to make the light. It's like if you don't get the midnight train or the 1 a.m. train, the train just stops and you're stuck on the island until 5 or 6 in the morning. Yeah, it started raining on us, so I'm gonna wrap this up of what I'm doing in New York right now. I don't know, this is hard. I don't know how people do this. Like, I don't know how people walk around and like record themselves.
Usually, hopefully, there isn't someone blasting horrible music.
It's raining on us and we're going home, so I'm wrapping up this night. I'm glad I did it. I have been dealing with work stress and anxiety a lot, so getting to go out and spend some time with my fiance the way we would before we had a child was very good for my mental health. I had a really fun time, and I definitely hit some points in the night at the bar where I started to feel anxiety because I was with a bunch of people I didn't know. But I was able to work through it with the way that I'm learning to in therapy and then just have a fun time. And by the end of the night, I ended up having a lot of fun conversations with people that I didn't know and give like advice on things that I know about and just socialize. And it was really nice. And hopefully in future shows, I'll get to see these people again and then get to talk more. My main takeaway is just it's really nice to do something for yourself once in a while, even if it's going to a show and then getting hammered at a bar. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That always helps me, and I'll see you in the next one.